long. People were telling me that like the event was too short. I'm like, damn, it's like 3 hours. Like, how long do you want to be in this place? Like,
cryptocurrency exchange.
Non-fungible. We only take Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Change the Beef podcast. Today we have with us in our studio Jessie Morii. So she is the co-founder and creative director of Froyoverse. You might have seen a lot of Twitter influencers wrapping her very cute Froyo cats and Froyo kittens. So Jessie, how are you today?
I'm great. Nervous, I'm gonna be honest.
Really? No, just chill.
But also very honored to be here. I watched like a couple of podcasts and like it's super fun.
Now I'm honored.
Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, really happy to be here.
Great. And so tell us, how do you get started with crypto?
Yeah, so basically it started off with like me doing like freelance jobs and like, doing a lot of like design work for a lot of like different projects and stuff like that. And then just so happened that one of the projects it's crypto related and like basically it's a GameFi project, Krabata, and then they got me on board to do like a bunch of like creative things, design related as well. So yeah, that's how I kind of like wiggle my way into this space, and now I can't wiggle out because I don't know why.
Oh, interesting. And I think I first found out about you through, I think it was also Krabata, and also a little bit on the Froyo cats. But before that, I was in Krabata from the start. Wow. And what was your experience like in Krabata? Were you just mainly doing the designs, or like were you helping out with other aspects of the game? Yeah,
I mean, doing what I do best, which is basically design. So I never touched on like anything else. There's like like tokenomics or like anything like tech wise. I mean, look at me, right? Like, I'm not a tech person. Yeah.
And then from Krabata, it led on to like Froyo cats, right? So
yeah.
how did Froyo cats start?
The thing is like, so the co-founder Tender, right? So he told me like, go create a Twitter and basically, try to do something there. And so I made it like my personal goal. I was like, I'm just gonna try to like grow my Twitter following. Yeah. And then like it started off with like I was like basically following like 100 people and had like 6 followers or something. I don't even know why people followed me. Probably because like I'm a Asian girl in like crypto. That's a pretty big selling point.
That's true. That's not wrong. Yeah.
But yeah, so from then on I was like, what do people like, right? And like an NFT space is like really cute. At that point of time, he's like really into the cute cartoon,
the cute meta
PFP thingy. I was like, oh my god, like I love this. So from then on, I decided like one fine day, it was like 4 a.m. I remember this because I like school the next day. I was like, well, let me just like take the profile picture of like accounts that followed me, basically the 6 people, right? And like let me turn them into like cats and like bowls and stuff. And one thing lead to the other. A bunch of like people were like really into it, and then here I am.
Wow, what a journey! But why cats though, and why cats in bowls? How did that idea come about?
I saw like, I don't know if you know, but like there is this Japanese cat. I think his name is Mori or something, and then like he was sitting in like a bowl. It was a really popular GIF.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I was. Do you guys put like images?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, here it is.
Oh, that's really cute.
So cute, right? But yeah, so basically that, and I was really inspired by it. It was basically a cat in a bowl, and then I decided to add like a little spoon to it, so it looks like a little dessert.
Yeah.
And I was thinking between like ice cream cat or like I don't know, something else. But ice cream cat like sounds like super like long and not so like
so
catchy.
Froyo, which is a short form for frozen yogurt, right?
Yeah.
Froyo cats, they're pretty popular on the internet. And where was that inflection point where like it blew up, like where the curve just went like vertical?
It was crazy, I'm not gonna lie. So I was just doing a bunch of them, and I think like I did about like 60 of them. So I was supposed to do 100, so I did about like 60 or 65. And then there was like this really big account, because previously it's always been like small accounts. I did it for a bunch of like 60 small accounts, and then this really big account retweeted. So I compiled it into a little GIF, all the ones that I've did, and I put in a tweet, and then one of the big accounts retweeted it. But at the point of time, he was like really big following, and I had like 60 plus like followers, and he had like 120 or something K, 1,000 followers.
Crazy.
I was like, oh my god, like, you really think I'm worth it? And like, so that happened. And I also had a friend called Wangarian from Tangent, and basically he was really supportive as well. And like at the point of time, he had about like 20 to 30 like thousand followers as well. And for me, that's like really big numbers, and like super honored for them to like support me. So that was how, like, a really big account just like retweeted that. And then I'm not gonna lie, it happened like around like 1-2 a.m. I remember it so clearly because like my life literally like did like 180 and like I couldn't sleep. I was texting my friend and basically I didn't sleep for like I think like 6 hours just watching my Twitter like blew up in front of my face. It was crazy. And you know, I had class the next day. But I didn't care. So I was like super like high on like adrenaline. So yeah, it was like great stuff.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm sure you were like did you go to class at the end or like?
I did. But all I could think about is like my Twitter.
How do you draw all the Froyo cats yourself, or and how do you get the ideas for like each individual cat? Because I think they're all one of ones, right?
Yeah. So basically, yeah, I did all of them. So it does take a lot of time for me to like you know, churn them out. So back then when I had a little bit less commitment, I had more time to like do all of them like in a more consistent basis. But yeah, so basically they were inspired by like, you know, the PFP the accounts that I did it for. So if you have a really interesting like PFP, you know, your Froyo cat is going to be really cool as well. So that's that, yeah.
Oh, interesting. And so I think like after the Froyo cats, you also released like the Froyo kittens, right? So what was the rationale behind releasing Froyo kittens instead of just going all out with just the Froyo cats?
Right. So the thing about that is that, you know, Froyo cats for me, it's really personal, right? Because I do all of them from scratch. I pick who I want to do it for, and you know, everything it's like, you know, 100% like, you know, I do it by myself. So I mean, to do a 10K collection for that's like crazy, right? You know, I'm not a robot, so that's a little bit impossible for me. Maybe someday. But because I don't want to dilute the meaning of like Froyo cat for me, so I decided, you know, why not do it like a little baby version, which is like basically Froyo kitten. And then like Froyo kitten, yeah, we did it like a more generative thing, because I kid you not, the number of like DMs I get every day for like, can you Froyo me? Can you Froyo me? And I'm like, well, you know, I can't do it, but like, you know, I literally get like so much DMs, so I'm like, why not just like Froyo everyone, and like, you know, you can get your little kitten and stuff. And like now I'm like trying to do a little bit more where like, you know, if you have a Froyo kitten, I'll just like, you know, do a Froyo cat for you. So it's like kind of like you watch your kitten grow up in a way. So
that's a good concept. And then, yeah, I mean, in terms of scaling up the whole project, I mean, that makes sense, right? Instead of just you can't possibly draw like tens of thousands of Froyo cats every single time, right? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, out of all your Froyo cats, what was your most favorite design?
Yeah, so I'm gonna start off and say I love all of them. Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they were all made from love, right? And a lot of my time.
Yeah,
so I
so
do
much effort.
exactly
Just draw each of them.
So, you know, I love all of them equally, but if I have to choose, I think like maybe Foo's Froyo cat. So it's a little panda one with like little bamboo shoots like at the side instead of a spoon.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's like super cute. Oh, it's right
Put
here.
it, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I love pandas. That's really cute.
Oh yeah, super cute. But yeah, I you know, I'm super appreciative to Fu because it was sold for 2.34 ETH. So it was the most expensive Froyo cat that was being sold
Wow.
history-wise. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it was like super cool. I think there was a lot of like mixed, you know, sentiments around, you know, whether or not it should be like selling your honoraries and blah blah blah. You know, but I'm chill with it because I'm like, well, it was like a lot of people were talking about it, so it was really beneficial to me.
Yeah.
And Fu has been like really supportive for me like since day one. He's been like DMing me and like, you know, all these kind messages, so I know that like he's always there to like help me.
Yeah.
So I met the guy who bought like the Froyo cat. Such an honor, basically. I was fangirling, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like I had like a really like strict composure. I was like trying to be professional and stuff, but like I was like, oh my god, like what? And like it's really great to like meet someone who is really supportive in what I do, and like, you know, I'm very honored as an artist as well. And well, he is Ronald Cool Cat, I think that's his Twitter, from Pet Rock. Yeah, and he's super nice, like the nicest person.
You're a good guy, Ronald.
Yeah, you truly are. Yes.
Okay, and I think recently, I think it was a few months ago. So I saw on Twitter, I think it basically blew up. Like someone basically called you out, and in turn, I saw like Alex from Nansen defended you. And what was the whole story about?
So basically what happened was that someone from our Discord who had a pretty like decent following on Twitter, he took a screenshot of like my profile and was like writing a bunch of stuff saying that, you know, I'm taking all the money and running away and I'm rocking the project and everything, and he said a few like racist things, and yeah, it was pretty bad as a tweet itself, and of course his followers who doesn't really understand the full picture was like bashing me and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's pretty tough. You know, I was really contemplating between, you know, speaking on it on Twitter, because, you know, I try not to give like attention to like all these like false claims and stuff like that, you know, but he had a following, so I didn't want it to be like him influencing all this people, right, with like, you know, something that's not true. So I wrote about it. I sent a tweet, and then suddenly I got a notification that Alex, the CEO of Nansen, yeah, what an honor by the way to know him. Okay, yeah, and so he backed me up, and he was like taking a screenshot of like, you know, I'm autistic, and like, you know, honestly, it's like if anyone wants to find this information, it's all online, right? So it's on the blockchain. You can go search it up. You know, the fund is still there. So I don't really know why he didn't, like, the guy who like claimed all this didn't like, you know, research into it, and like just throwing like false claims. But I'm very happy and very honored that like Alex came to my support and backed me up on this, because, you know, I mean, as a founder, I can be like, no, I didn't rock the project, blah, blah, blah. But like,
you need solid proof still, right?
Yeah, and like having someone of like, you know, that, you know, level of like credibility to like back me up, I feel super honored, because like ever since day one, I pride myself on like being as genuine as I can be in the space itself. So to have someone question that on such a large scale, especially, I wouldn't say large scale, but at such a scale, it's really heartbreaking for me. You know, I don't really know how to react to stuff like that, because, you know, I try to wear my heart on my sleeve and stuff like that, and yeah, it was scary.
Well, and maybe I think like cause you guys launched like right around like start of the bear market, right? So maybe he just like tried to relate.
Exactly.
He like, I mean, bear market caused everything to fall down, and he tried to put a bit of that on. I think
like the market sentiments isn't the best as well. So I guess like, you know, it's not that I have any like resentment towards him. You know, anytime he wants to like speak to me, like my DMs is always open. But it's just like, I think like if he had any like questions or anything, he could like let me know, and I can like easily like,
instead of calling you out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Without research.
Yeah.
Wow, must have been like a really like stressful period.
It was. Can you believe it? Like a tweet makes me like sweat.
Shit. But I mean, all's good now. Okay, speaking of the bear market, so how did you manage your community? Because I know like for our community, Chain Beef community, like in the bear market, everyone's really quiet, so it's not really much chatter going around. I mean, in general, I feel almost all communities are like that. But how do you keep your community engaged during the bear market?
I don't think there is like a exact way to like manage a community in a sense, but for us, we are trying, and there are a couple things that we've been doing constantly that is trying to keep the community engaged, and like, you know, have them know that, you know, we're still here, you know, even though it's the bear market and stuff like that. We're having a lot of like community events. A big one would be like poker. We have one that's coming up. I don't know if it's going to be coming out like, you know, when you air this, but probably we love poker. We do love poker, and we partner with like a bunch of like other communities as well. We have like Pudgy, we had like Froyoverse, and like I think Kampai Pandas, and like so many other like amazing like communities as well. That is like, you know, as degenerate as our community, you know, when it comes to poker. But it's super fun. I think like people are like speaking about how they enjoy like poker, and like, you know, they were like, you know, taking like screenshots and like sharing about like, oh my god, look at my cards and stuff like that. You know, it's fun, you know, and We're still like doing more to like try to engage the community and stuff like that. Because I think especially when it comes to like during the bear market, when people are like, a little bit more, not so happy 24/7,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
They want like some place else to be at, some place else where everyone just wants to have fun and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So we want to provide that.
Yeah, people need some time to stop
Yeah,
looking at prices.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
I think it's really good that you're like keeping your community engaged
Mhm.
with all these collaborations. And I think so all these are online, focused online, right?
Yes,
Or-
online.
And you guys also do physical events, right? I think like the last one was during Token 2049 week.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, so tell us more about that. So why do a physical event during that week?
Right. So I'm so excited, by the way, to talk about this because I love events, and I think like for Froyoverse, events is going to be a really huge thing for us that we'll be focusing on. One of the huge things we're focusing on. What really sparked my interest or like the team's interest in events is that when we threw the event during NFT NYC in New York, we hosted it with 4 other projects, Cozyverse, Chubbyverse, Squishyverse, and Exolittle. And it was so nice and like really good to like meet, a bunch of our holders and like, people from their community as well. So I was like, damn, like this is amazing. I really love this experience. And so we were like thinking, let's throw another event, but this time let's do it just us, like a Froyo focused event. And that's how we came up with, and then we were thinking the next big event was going to be Token 2049, and a bunch of like friends from crypto Twitter were like flying in and stuff like that. I was like, oh my god, like we have to like throw an event because people from CT are coming. So we did, and we decided to like do a more like fun kind of thing. So we decided instead of like a typical like drinks and network thingy, we decided to throw in an element of an arcade, and I think people really enjoyed it because no one was leaving, man. We
The
were
venue
like,
was full. It's
I know.
So full.
Oh my god! Like, so the thing was that we oversubscribed a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we were like, people are gonna like come and go, right? But no, everyone wants to stay,
Yeah,
and like the bouncer from the event space itself was like, no, we can't let more people in. And then like we have like a couple of my team members were like, no, please, like please.
Yeah, so
So
I was in the queue, and then like the bouncer
Yeah.
was like, you have to wait for someone to go out first before you can go in.
I know.
It's
Oh,
crazy. It was full.
I feel
like you can't
so
even walk.
bad.
But which was good. Like, I mean, reception was good for an event, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was like mind blown. I think like I mean I didn't really expect so many people to turn up, especially for like so long. People were telling me that like the event was too short. I'm like, damn, it's like 3 hours. Like, how long do you want to be in this place? Like, but yeah, like people were telling me it's too short, and I'm like, okay, well next time we'll do it longer then. Yeah. But it was a really good experience. A lot of positive like feedback and stuff like that. So we're like, this can be our thing, and like we want to host it even better next time, even more unique next time, and even more like exciting and bigger. So yeah.
And what's the next event? Have you guys have any idea yet?
We are scheming and we're planning. But yeah, I mean, we'll release once, information is like more concrete. But yes, keep a lookout, I would say. We want to be that. I think on top of that, I think we want to be that NFT project that throws the sickest event. Honestly. Yeah. Yes.
I think not only for events, I mean, as a whole, what's next for Froyoverse?
All right. So I think for Froyoverse, we are focusing on 3 main verticals at the moment. We have events where we'll be throwing like really sick, very amazing, very like unique experience in terms of like events wise. And for us, I think we'll be planning a range of like events. So we're thinking about like maybe something really wholesome, maybe like some gallery in the future.
Wow.
Because we pride ourselves in art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also maybe like something a little bit more degenerate where it's like just pure party and stuff like
sounds
that.
more fun.
But yeah, I mean, we want to create like unique experiences for like everyone that comes by. So I think we'll be doing quite a range of like events. So for me, how I see it is that events is really important when it comes to Web3 collaborations with like other projects and stuff like that. During our Froyo Arcade Night, we had the honors of collaborating with 10 other projects,
Wow.
which we're still in like really close contact right now, and we're still doing like online events with like some of them. And I think in addition to all of that is that events is a really good place for us to like meet our online community and like meet our holders, and also like having to meet like these projects, like these amazing like minds behind like all these projects that we're collaborating with. And I think it's in general, right? I think a lot of people are like sleeping on events because they're like, why go like in real life, right? Why can't we just keep everything online? But I think like it's nice to like once in a while like connect with people in real life, and also like I think via us, our holders, or like people from our community can like be able to have this direct contact with these amazing projects that we're working with as well, and like tap into this connection as well. So
Yeah, and I think what you guys are doing is really great, because when it comes to events, from my point of view, so we've been to a lot of networking events and also non-networking fun events like the ones you guys had. So I think it's easier to network at fun events, and it's because it's more real, like people go there to have fun, and then you meet people who are founders of projects, and then you build a relationship there instead of going to networking events to network with everyone, because I don't know, it feels very, very like stressful, or like there's a KPI to hit when you go for networking events. Like you just want to meet everyone, right? But for events that the kind of events that you organize, it's more real in a sense, I feel, and it's really great that you are focusing on those sort of events.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I do agree with what you said. And we don't want to create an environment where it's like you just come here to like do work, right?
Yeah.
Like what else can you like be a part of, which is like basically creating like all these amazing memories while connecting with cool people. So I think that's mainly for events. I think so the next one would be merch and apparels. So for merch and apparels, we're doing like a bunch of like really cool stuff, right? So for me, I did like a degree. Part of my degree is in product design, so I'm really excited when it comes to merch because I really love designing, and I did a bit of fashion for a bit. So I take pride in what I do, and right now we're like doing like some basic apparels, and then we're also doing like things like plushies, figurines, and like something a little bit more unique and like recognizable for Froyo something in the future. So like when they look at like this plushie or this figurine, they'll be like, oh my god, there's a Froyo figurine, or there's a Froyo plushie. So that's where we're heading towards in terms of like our main merch line, and then we're also having like a apparel line, which is basically more focused on since we're be throwing so many like fun events, right? How do we link that to like our other verticals, right? So that's where a more party vibed merch will be coming in, and I don't want to give too much like spoilers, but I think it's gonna be super fun and cute because the pieces will be a little bit more unique and like different, and like more of like something you see in like a rave or like a party scene, basically. So that's that. And then lastly, it would be for the design house. So for me, I've been a graphic designer and an illustrator for about like 5-6 years, super long, right? And through this, I get to be a part of both like Web3 and like Web2 projects. And from that, I'm like, wow, like I would love to have like a design house where I have like a bunch of like really, sick, talented artists, illustrators and designers under me, and like let me help them bridge between like Web2 and Web3, because I do feel like a lot of people in Web3 need artists and like good artists, and like I can provide that connection for them, and I can manage these artists for them, and like make this whole process like super seamless, and like not so like I think because a lot of people, when it comes to like when you don't have like that design knowledge, you do struggle communicating directly with a designer, and a lot of projects do tell me that. So I'll be like your third person and like try to like make things happen.
Yeah, and I think it's a really noble goal, because like essentially you're going back to your roots,
Yeah.
designing, and then you're also helping like your community trying to get into Web3. And I mean for us, like Web3, we already know most of stuff Web3, but for other people, barriers of entry might be a little high. So I think it's a very respectful goal that you're working towards. And what's the timeline on all these projects?
So well, they're all in progress right now. So we do have like events that are happening and stuff like that, and we are planning for our next event. And for merch wise, and right now it's kind of like in design phase, and we're also sourcing out for manufacturers and things like that. So that's gonna take a while, because we do want our merch and apparel to be of good quality. So we want to like run through a few like vendors before we decide on anything. For design house, we have a bunch of like clients that we're speaking to as well, and that's in progress. But we want to build that for a bit first, and like build our portfolio before we do like release it to the public in a way.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think future's really bright for you guys.
Oh, thank you. So I think besides helping these clients and projects with their branding and creative assets, I also want to build a community with my artists as well, and create a more nurturing environment of like helping them transit between like Web2 and Web3. And if you're an artist and you wanna work in the Web3 space, feel free to like reach out to me. But yeah, I mean we're super chill, and as a designer I definitely understand some struggles in terms of like bridging between the spaces, and I'm here to help.
Okay, so this is one question I ask all our guests who come onto our podcast. What is your most degen crypto story?
Okay, so I would say it's not really a degenerate story, but I think it's like a really fun, meme-ish, weird moment for me. So I think before all of this, I was actually streaming on Twitch and drawing my Froyo cats and stuff like that, because it's something I wanted to explore. And a bunch of people would like come to my a bunch of people would come to my Twitch to like watch me draw and things like that. And one day I was drawing this like Froyo cat on Procreate, and then so I zoomed out from that canvas, and then there was a little canvas at the side. And it was like basically a little blue dick that I drew at the start of the stream.
Why were you drawing a dick though?
I was like testing, right? I was like testing the syncing of like the stream, and I was like, I don't know what to draw, right? So I did a little dick, and and they had little things coming out and stuff.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah, so that's that. And then like, oh my god, like once I saw that on my screen, I quickly like scroll away. But everyone on my Twitch stream was like,
people clipped it.
Yeah, and no, they were like, what was that? Show that to us again. And then together, the funniest thing was that together, as a collective, we built on this like dick so seriously. And then we drew the fucking like veins and everything. And then we had like,
God.
So it was actually inspired by like this Twitter account called Loomdart. Do you know?
Yeah.
So he's a little blueberry, right? So I decided to turn him into a little blueberry dick.
Okay.
So I called it, like, we had like little like blueberries like coming out of it. It was like super cute. So after when the stream was ending, everyone's like, you have to mint this, right? And then at the point of time, I had no idea what minting an NFT is. So I was super like confused. I don't know what to do. And then Jeebus, ChubbyCon 219, he came to my aid, and then we hop on a call real quick, and then he was like teaching me how to use OpenSea. And for me, that was like super crazy, because I don't know how to use OpenSea. I don't know how to like mint with NFT. So we did that, and then he was like, you should put it out for auction for 24 hours. And I was like, really? Like, is people actually gonna buy this thing? So I did put it out for auction.
And someone actually bought it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And someone actually bought it. Do you want to guess how much? It's not low.
It's not low. 10 ETH.
No, oh my god, that's
Okay,
too
that's
much.
too high. 5, 4.
No, it was sold for like 3.3.
That's pretty high.
ETH. Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy because at the point of time, ETH was like 4.5, I think, 4.5k. So it was about like $13,000
on a blue dick.
Yeah. Oh my god, I was like, damn, and like.
Wow.
I actually got to meet the person who bought the blue
Shit.
tick. He was super down to earth, by the way, super nice guy. And
rich enough to spend money on a blue dick.
yeah, I mean, we did form like a really nice friendship, and like, you know, I go to like events, I always like hit him up and be like, hey, are you going to these events? And we always hang out and stuff like that. So it was really like an interesting like moment for me, because it's like, you know, I had to explain to my mom like where all this money
yeah.
came from, right? It was really awkward.
How did that happen though?
Because I was like trying to convince her that like, you know, I can actually do something here. And she was asking like what do you mean, like how you know? And I was, so Loom Cock was an example that I brought up. She was very confused. She didn't know what she was looking at for a while. And then like after a while she just pushed my phone away, and she's like, okay, just do what you want to do. And I was like, okay, thanks, mom.
So essentially that was how you got into crypto, right? Was that your first like touch point with crypto?
Yeah, I would say so.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
For a blue tick, you know, what an experience.
What a unique experience. Wow.
Yeah.
Alright, I think before we end, what pieces of advice would you have to designers who are just starting off or wanting to get into the space, or even project builders who wanna start their own project? And what kind of advice would you have to give to them?
Well, my advice for artists and project starters is that don't be afraid to venture into space, because, you know, everyone here is like super nice, super supportive when it comes to, you know, onboarding like newbies, right? I would say. So for me, from personal experience, you know, I think like, you know, it's been pretty seamless in terms of my transition wise, because I had like so many, you know, supportive like friends from crypto Twitter, which I have like some of them I've never met on like before in real life, and they're like so, you know, willing to help me. I'm very honored, you know. And I think on top of that, you know, always do your research, I would say, because I think the space itself, you know, is still very new, and even though it seems like a lot of information, but actually I think you can like just like, you know, do your research, take your time to like learn about the space. If you have any questions, you can just like, I think you just ask, like tweet it out, and like people will respond to you, or like, you know, I think it's like pretty easy to, you know, get into the space itself. But yeah, if you need help, my Twitter is Mori. You can hit me up. But yeah, I think that's mainly that. Don't be afraid. Yeah, I'll hold your hand.
All right, guys, we've come to the end of our podcast. Thank you so much, Jessie, for taking your time to come over to our studio to share your thoughts on the NFT space, and also your project's future and all the stuff that you're doing for the space. And if you guys want to follow her, her socials are up here. And yeah, thank you so much, Jessie.
Yes, I mean, honestly, what an honor to be here, and it's been such a blast. Very fun. You've been so nice, by the way.
Oh,
and highly recommend everyone to be here if they're worthy enough. Oh.
Hey, you heard that first, guys. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.